I just think that this particular topic is very fascinating. You and your peers were in class together, and you may be debating something. You may notice something different. Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. You may notice something different. I think I cut my hair. Well, Rini did. She did an excellent job. She likes it in the summertime when I keep it short, and I have to be honest with you, it's been in the high 90s every day here, so woo! This is the style you gotta sport when you're living down south. I'll tell you right now, a little military cut do everyone good. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Today I thought I'd talk about something that's come up recently. Some colleagues of mine, and even my son and me were talking about it the other day. And that was the subject of speaking out when you were in class. Speaking out in the classroom. I'm sure some of you remember it. I'm hoping some of you still are doing it. I don't hope all of my crowd's an adult crowd, but I'm sure it is. But do you remember back in the day when you were a student in high school, or if you went to college, and during that time, you and your peers were in class together, and you may be debating something. It's come to my attention, and I just read an article about it, and it's funny, it came up when we were talking about it this week, that women seem less likely to put an opposing theory out there than men are. Men are very confrontational, so men tend to always or want to debate things. Women are a bit more passive, so they don't speak their mind as much, even though they have the right idea or on the right course of action. And so a colleague of mine told me that as a woman, she didn't feel comfortable speaking in the classroom that was predominantly men. And that even now in our meetings, she's not comfortable always speaking up, even though our company is owned and run by women, but yet some of the women there aren't comfortable giving opposing ideas. Of course, you know, this came up because all I do is give opposing ideas. I don't know, I think playing devil's advocate is just what I was made for. But it seems like 58% of women, according to some Gallup poll, and 63% of men will put a opposing theory forward. So you see, it's a big difference between men and women. There's almost 40% of women won't, where almost 70% of men will. And I found that hard to believe, so I started asking. My daughter, she's very outspoken, so she wasn't a good opinion. She always speaks her mind. But my son said the same thing to me, that he's encountered many women colleagues in his industry. He's in a science industry, and they always have a hard time, and they very rarely speak out against what's being said and what's being done. They actually fear for their jobs, even though they're right 99% of the time. He said we actually haven't come as far as we think we have, because in the world of science and medicine, and even in the classroom, most women won't speak their mind because they think that they will be made fun of and belittled. Let me know if you feel that way. Are you specifically one of my women subscribers? And I have plenty of very boisterous women subscribers. So maybe asking you guys is not the best case study, but I'm asking you, do you feel awkward speaking opposition in a room full of men if you're a woman? Or when you were in school and maybe you weren't as courageous and bold as you are currently, did you have a hard time speaking up when you wanted to say something opposite of the mainstream? Let me know, I'm very curious. I really didn't think this was a thing. I just think that this particular topic is very fascinating. I don't understand that in 2019, a woman, of all people, is fearful of giving their honest opinion, speaking up in a group even a group of other women. It seems as though opposition is something that they don't like dealing with. A woman feels as though she needs to be more conservative, according to the study, not me. Let's not get this wrong. That according to the Gallup poll, women feel as though they need to be more conservative because when posing an opposing position, the pushback is so tremendous, it isn't worth the effort. And I find that sad. I mean, if you're really intelligent, you're super smart, I want to hear from you. If I'm saying something that you know is completely wrong, then you need to be telling me that. You need to share that with me and let everyone in the room know, because this pushback thing will never go away if you don't take charge and own it. And I'm not saying it's anybody's particular problem or fault, but the answer and solutions always lie in overcoming what is obviously going on. And if a organization like Gallup can do a 3-year study, then it's obviously going on at a large rate. So you tell me, how would you solve that? How would you teach your daughter to speak up and be boisterous? See, I'm not quite sure how I did it, but my daughter's super opinionated. She is an attorney. She is an excellent attorney. People are afraid of her. She's so sweet and beautiful, though. You guys have seen her before when you've tuned in. But I guess it's just, we always have an open dialogue in my house. No one's told that their opinion doesn't count. Gender has never been a thing. We've probably been ahead of the whole gender-specific, non-specific era for a long, long time now. And it's hard for me to grasp my daughter not speaking up. She's the first one to jump up and tell men when they're wrong and where they're wrong. And she always has an opposite opinion. But I guess maybe part of that comes from the fact that I used to let her argue with me all the time. I never shut her down. I never told her no. In the end, every once in a while, I used to pull that I'm the parent card. I mean, that's the privilege of being the parent. It just has to be. And sometimes at a certain age, certain information just isn't appropriate. And I guess that's when you pull the parent card more than often. But I've always allowed her and my son, and my wife, and everyone in my life to speak their mind. I want to know what you're thinking. I like to know. That's why you always see me ask, put it in the comments down below. I always want to know what's on people's minds. I'm a student of human nature. And so since I always had that open dialogue with my daughter, and I always allowed her to argue with me and her mother, I couldn't see this. All she did was ask questions to her mentors and teachers. So when I see this study by Gallup that's been going on for several years, and they find out that women, over 68% of them, well, you take that back, 62% of them will, which means 38% won't. That's disturbing. You got to teach your daughters. Speak up. Tell anyone that's wrong they're wrong, or definitely share your idea. I love to know new ideas and opinions. Make them share it. Show them it's okay. I mean, you got to teach them respect and manners. You can't let them mouth off at you, but you can definitely let them debate things with you and then pull the parent card. I mean, you know, I'm not telling you to give up your parent card, folks. I know we all enjoy it too much, but give them more open dialogue. I don't want to see that number disappear in the next 10 or 20 years. It's not going to happen overnight, but it would be nice for my granddaughter to be able, and she's going to anyway because, you know, she's one of us, one of my family, but we're very loud, as you may have guessed, and love to talk. But I'd love to see my great-granddaughter say, girls afraid to talk and ask questions, feeling inferior. Man, you guys lived in the Stone Age. But let me know, is this a problem, or is this something that's just blowing up? Are women having a problem speaking out in the classroom? Do they feel as though there could be some sort of retaliation, some form of unsincere and unnecessary backlash because they have a phenomenal idea that a male colleague or the majority of the people in the room won't accept? I just got to know. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. It's 2019, people. Even though you see I live all the backwards life anyway because of where I choose to live, but really? Women, classroom, can't talk? Feel shy? Yeah, when my daughter comes to town, I'm going to show you how shy women should be. I feel bad for her boyfriend. Good thing he's kind of shy. It works out. My clan's kind of pushy. How are you? Is your clan pushy? Men, women? Most of the patriarchs of my family are all women, so women have huge opinion and say in everything that goes on. But let me know, is your family that way, or is it a man? And my family's mostly all men. My daughter's the only girl in 26 years, and before that, 40 years. So it's a definitely patriarchy of men that listen to women. So how's your family? How's your life? How do you run your business there? Do women have an equal say and can say anything they want, whenever they want? You encourage your daughters to tear down silly men that aren't strong enough and know what they're doing? Or do you teach them to be pretty nice and quiet and they should listen to the men when they talk? Because, man, you got a lot of growing up to do if that's what you think. But in the meantime, I think my boss is looking for me. I ran a little late today, but this was just burning at me. Just had to know. School? Afraid to speak out? Boulder Dash, I say. But gotta sneak back into work. Don't want to get caught. Shh. Let's go. Quiet. Gotta be quiet. Oh, I think they see me. Oh, hey, what's going on? Yep, we're out for a bike ride. Oh, much better. Would you like to actually see me? I don't know, video works better that way, right? When you actually see the subject. I mean, I know I've blended into the background quite well now, especially since I got the summer doing a full effect, but I guess you guys want to see me. Reenie's in tonight. Too much in the heat and sun. We went to the beach over the weekend. It took its toll on her. She needs a day to recoup. So, I thought it'd be the perfect time for us to get out on a bike ride. We haven't done that in quite some time. And we'll see what's going on around the neighborhood. But let me get to another part of town where maybe we have some more sunlight, since it's almost sundown. What's happening, people? It's that time of night. About time for me to calm down, get my bed in order, as they say, get everything ready and done for the next day. I'm just such a good mood running around, playing around tonight. Came upon a question. You know I'm very impatient. As you can see, I'm trying to make changes to the channel, tweak things, improve things, change content, look for new content, stretch my abilities, try putting myself out there outside of my comfort zone, like they like to say today. And how long does it take to reinvent yourself? You know, it's a wonderful thing. I've seen many people do it. The Red Hot Chili Peppers comes to mind right away, and Green Day, bands like that. How do you reinvent yourself? Like a Mick Jagger, if you're a fan of the classics. How do you stay current? How do you grab a new audience like today's audience when you're so many decades above and beyond them? How do you generate that kind of, I don't know, personality? Maybe that's what you call it. Charisma. They had all kinds of names for it back in the day. But you guys know me. I'm really impatient. I'm in the process of trying to reinvent myself, change the channel, make this grow and progress. I think I've hit another stage where I've stymied again. You know, that bothers the life out of me. Even though I know I've got to learn to take it and deal with it. Doesn't mean I got to like it. And it doesn't mean I can't do anything about it. So forgive me if I act a little weird and change things up and try something new in the next few days. Maybe even the next month. I like to give things time to see if they really work. But it's just who and what I am. Woo! Had to get noisy right at the end of the monologue tonight, right? Couldn't just follow through. And the motorcycles, woo! Oh we got it all out here. But I think I'll leave you with that question, that pondering thought, that what the hell is he up to? Comment, like, subscribe. It's down there. Love you. See y'all tomorrow. I don't think Rini will be with us again. I think she's working nights tomorrow, but, you know, working on it, reinventing myself. Gotta make things different. Gotta grab a bigger piece of the pie. Taking y'all with me. Bye.